Take his last name, lives up there by the club.
Weather's gonna run, it's gonna turn back over.
He's,
About to last next week, you catch it.
that's what we're like the first day, we'll find out. We don't do anything yet.
Cars kind of snuck in like a plan. Well, like a wheel.
You got a great one.
So this way, and they introduced them, I ended up buying that at the end of the town gate, and they took it for license. Ready to GMC to drive.
Well, I know John's not gonna be here, he's out of town today, and it looks like everybody else is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. So you can get started anytime you want. And I guess, I don't know if everybody did find out, but, okay. That's okay. Connie stepped down as our board chair this past Friday, and from the county commissioners, Raymond Williams has stepped up to fill in as interim chair until Connie works through some of the health things that she has going on. So Raymond's gonna be with us, I'd say, for a pretty good while. So go ahead, Mr. Raymond.
We call meeting to order, and just to start at the other end, let's let everybody tell who they are and
What you feeling with
what you represent.
Billy Brown, Lynn's Place Restaurant?
Harold Rogers, real estate.
Greg Corbell, Fontana Village.
Billy Ditmore, Mike Taylor Suites.
Armando Williams, Williams Construction and Rental Properties.
Approval of the meetings.
I'm gonna have to let you guys take a few moments to read those minutes. We had some modem issues earlier in the week that Taylor Carringer had to come over and work on, and to get our printer and everything back. Couldn't really scan anything in and attach some things. So if you could take just a few moments to go ahead and read those, and let me know if you have any changes. For those of you that were at your desk, they did kind of get sent out around 12:30, 1 o'clock today, so you might have even been able to go ahead and read them, but go right ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to ask everybody if we could maybe put off the approving of the minutes. I've seen some discrepancies, and I'd like to maybe have a little bit of time. I don't want to take all this time here to, go over them. There's some things that don't look 100% to me. And I've noticed that in some of the other minutes too. And I think it's maybe something we can talk about at a later date. But if we could just maybe skip the approving of the minutes and go on with the agenda.
You put that in form of a motion.
Make a motion that we skip the approval of the minutes for today.
Everybody's got time to go over it. right?
Everybody's got more time to go over and look at some things.
Okay.
So much.
All in favor? So we put that off to next meeting. Approval of the agenda.
Now, beside the financial report, it's blank. Is Becky going to come, or what about the
Becky was unable
financial?
to attend. She
Okay.
has something that came up with her son and was unable to get a report to us at this point.
Okay, so we'll just mark that out then.
We need approval of the agenda.
I make a motion we approve the agenda.
I second that motion with the, knowing that we've changed the financial report. The rest of it's fine. And Becky, will what, get to us next time?
Yes, if
Okay.
not emailed out to you as an email.
All in favor? Or second? Need a second?
Billy.
I
Lee
second.
second.
Okay,
Or on the first,
sorry.
you'll say.
All in favor? Okay. Becky won't be here. Public comment?
As of right now, Bob, did you sign up back there for a public comment, or are you just watching today?
I just walk in, I sign my name, just thinking I was supposed to do that, but I don't have any.
Go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody and let them know what you're involved in so they can get to know you.
Okay. My name is Bob Ware, I'm so that's relocated to Grant County, and we started a honey store down the street here. So we are very proud to be here, and happy to be here, and enthusiastically support the county, because the county is certainly supporting us. We have a lot of things on our plates. To tell you a real quick thing that would be interesting for everybody, and highlight at some point in time, is an observation hive, and there will be a pollination pathway. So you walk up a path, and there will be
Right.
flowers that are all pollinators for all of the insects and butterflies and birds and so forth, and then with the observation hives up on top. So it's just kind of an exciting thing. For me, that would be good for the county. And as travel and tourism board, it's something that you might want to check into.
Oh, yeah, well, it's something nice, you know, another nice asset. Your building's beautiful. It's a really nice asset to the county. You know, I'm Billy Ditmore. I don't think we've ever met, but I've met your wife and daughters before.
Yes.
Very nice people, but I've actually been in your store. You have a great product.
Thank
So,
you. We're very happy
yeah.
and happy to be there. The observation hive will be a completely different thing.
Is there a date, do you have an open date for that, or?
It'll be at least April.
April,
Because
okay.
right now, you have to have nectar sources and pollen sources for the bees to grow and live off of.
Yeah.
So they will be loaded hopefully by April.
Okay.
And then, it'll be a slow process to get things moving and on the pollination path.
Weather dependent, obviously, right?
Hopefully the weather will cooperate better this year than it
Yeah.
did last year.
That's a reminder.
Is that what you guys are doing? I noticed some earth was being moved out there.
Right, in a big area up there, that's where the observation hive will be, as well as there'll be in the fall, maybe your storage building there for, to overwinter a lot of your hive products and so forth, the frames and that type of thing. But that is where the observation hive will be, and then that dirt front that's at Hillside, you have about 150 feet this way, 150 this way, and about a 50-foot elevation. So it'll be a little bit of an exercise, but we think that like all the public schools, probably from Asheville to Knoxville to, I don't know, like Atlanta, maybe even Chattanooga, will eventually find out about it. We'll do a press release sometime this summer, once we're ready, and we think it will be a destination place for people to come to Grant County.
Right.
And of course, they're staying someplace.
Yeah, this is great.
So it's a perfect thing for y'all to know about and support, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, definitely.
On a local basis, I had a hive last year that I got from another place, and Jessica and Emily were a wealth of information, helped me through the summer, comforted me when they died. And I have 2 hives ordered for in a couple of weeks. I think they'll be ready. So as a local, I'm tickled to death that y'all are here. You're a great wealth of information and a lot of help too.
I just like the honey. I'm glad it's here. It's like easy access for me. I ate honey every day of my life, so it's really been good.
Good, I'm glad.
I've heard a multitude of comments, and I've not yet to hear the first negative one.
Right.
Yep.
They have their own Facebook, it's Wearloom Honey, WEHRLOOM, and that's pretty typical. The positive comments are very good. And they try very hard, and they're very hard workers. So, but thank you for asking and allowing me to say that.
Yeah, I think everybody needs to kind of know where your business is headed. And Jessica and I were talking about coming up with ideas for some of the classroom stuff and charges and things of that nature, so that we can get those things out to the hotels, and it can kind of be maybe an add-on package even to the lodging, so we can charge more occupancy tax, or it can be just sold as an alone or as a rack card, as a thing to go do. So we're going to be working together. Well, we're going to be working on another project as well. So.
Yeah, but they are teaching classes right now on how to raise bees and so forth. They're having Saturday classes. But the observation hive, which they're calling the bee observatory, they'll have a little bit of a classroom time up there too, where they can show you the bees in action.
good thing too about it is, they say it's good for allergies, but it has to be
Local.
in so many miles of your, you know, residence or whatever, and then, and yours pretty well covers Graham County, and that's a good thing too, that's,
You're absolutely right, and so basically, you're looking for the bees to take the pollen source, to be bringing in the pollen source and the nectar from whatever you're allergic to. So, but I think like either ragweed or goldenrod from this area probably is very similar to what maybe in Hayesville or maybe even Asheville, you know, so you have some commonality. Yes, you have some very specific.
Yeah.
We carry honey from other locales like California, Oregon, Arizona, which are orange blossom, mesquite, blackberry, raspberry, orange.
It's funny that Raymond mentioned that because actually I told you I ate honey every day. My doctor's the one that mentioned it. I used to have to take allergy medicines. And once I started eating local honey and stuff, he mentioned to me, it's like, if you tried eating honey, you know, and every morning instead of sugar, I just put the honey in my coffee. And I've not took allergy medicine 2 or 3 years now.
But
So,
the reason I said that, the other sources of honey from out of the state, they would be probably very little good for your allergies that are probably local. But you're absolutely right. And I've had people say, my doctor wants me to get on medicine, but he said, before you get on medicine, go to your local farmer's market, get local honey, and try that first, because medicine is expensive and not all that good for you.
yep.
So, good point.
did you also tell them that you were the town council, one of the town council members
I beg your
at
pardon?
Santina?
What about it?
Did you tell them?
Oh, no, I am on the conference.
He's one of the council members at the town of Santina too.
Do you have any brochures to the honey place down here? Like when you're talking about this, the singing thing over there that's coming out of it?
The observation hive.
Right.
We have brochures, we have rat cards and business cards. I probably have, I can sort of get them for you, but.
Okay, can we?
I'd like to have
Bob,
something
did you get the
too.
ones with the observation hive on it yet, or is these your old ones you're talking about?
No, these are just old rat cards, but.
Okay.
And I don't think it has anything about the observation hive because, we're not ready for
Okay.
that. So we don't want to give somebody.
Oh,
we
yeah,
don't wanna make a
jump the gun,
promise,
right.
Here's this, we're going to do this, and we don't
Right.
have it ready. So in 2 months.
Yeah, because whenever we get ready for that, because we get people coming to restaurants, riding, and people want something to do, and that's just like it's June Lusk up here that we don't have, the museum. That's what I've been trying to try to do is keep it open on the weekends because they want some place to go to. They won't know why it's not open up here. When people travel through here, that'd be a destination. And plus that would be a destination for people, that want to have something to do here, to go up there to the observation up there when it gets ready.
And we believe that will be the case. And I don't know, I assume that Tabitha, y'all know about the route maps
Right.
and all that. That would be very important for that same thing.
Right.
And we're very, I just involved with that as well. But were you there at your store? I'd be happy to come by. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay. I'll come in and visit with you sometime.
Okay.
When you can give them this map, and rather than trying to say, go down 3 streets and take a
Right.
right, and then you take a half, all that will be on this map.
Right.
And so they can take off and then come back and have dinner.
Right.
And even now, even though you don't have the observation hives open now, the gift shop's a great place. I've run down there for Christmas gifts and birthday and whatever. The gift shop's a great place.
Thank you. They're, like I say, they're very hardworking,
Yeah.
creative people.
Yeah.
They're educators and they're trying to do the right thing.
They're the one that does all the work.
I just want to put in that it was 2 women that helped me.
Just in case you need it.
Anything else, Bob? Bob?
I grew up in Indiana and
Oh, one little last
I got
thing.
you, no.
I ask everybody this, how did you find Robbinsfield?
In 2004, well, 15 years before that, I had started planning on hiking the Appalachian Trail. So in 2004, on April 1st, I started a spring round. And about the 14th of April, I came to State Farm Gap. It was cold, coldest that I was on the whole trail.
Yeah.
That coming right through here in mid-April. By the time we got to Fontana, I was practically froze. It was snowing heavily, and I got up in the morning, and the Smokies were white, except for the evergreens. And it's one of the most beautiful places along the Appalachian Trail.
Good, I'd love to hear that.
So it needs to be promoted,
Right.
you know, in the map, and I think Africa does a good job and with the enthusiasm and getting information out to people, and I'm sure you all are the same. You really have a good image and vision for this county, and it needs to be gotten out there a little bit more. It's hard to do it a little bit.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Anybody else have any questions for him? Bob, we appreciate you coming by. Discussion items, I'll turn that over to Tabitha first.
Sir. Mary Ann had a conflict with a different meeting. And so what I did is I took the social media report, if you'll flip back just I think 5 or 6 pages. The current social media report just shows January, February, but if you'll flip one more page, there's last year's numbers. And so I think it'll be very interesting for you to see just the growth, and why I recommended Mary Ann, because she is a professional and she is a wordsmith and she is very good at getting people to engage. So last January we had 5,300 Facebook members, and now we're up to 14,000, almost 300 members. And you can see some of the other numbers there and kind of how they change and which ones engage more and which ones don't. So, Greg, I know you weren't here last year, and Billy Ditmore, you weren't here last year either. So I thought this would be helpful for you to just kind of see, as we are getting ready to go into budget April and May, the kind of success that she's brought from us from the social media posts. If you'll flip over one more page, you'll see the one that has the 2 pictures on the left. As you know, she likes to share with us the top Facebook posts that we've had since our last meeting. So these are your 2 top Facebook posts. You've got the aerial of Fontana Dam, and that had, it reached close to 16,500 people. You can see your click-throughs, your likes, your engagements, all those numbers are there to share. And then the other one, again, the scenic pictures from our area always get people to ooh, ah, and engage, and I want to be there. And the reason why we know the social media is working is because there are indications in people's remarks and their posts that they are coming to visit, or I'll be there next week, or I was there last week, or I can't wait to get there in June. So social media is definitely just been a great place for where we're spending our money at. Yes, sir.
Tabitha, go back to Graham County, first page over. This is new fans from ads over. We get down in February. We're 790 to 14%, then 579, and minus 27%. Explain that.
Which category are you in again?
In February, minus 27%.
For new fans?
Yeah,
or
for
ads?
2016.
Yeah, now sometimes there is talk right now about how Google is changing their ad sets.
Right, I
And what it's
understand.
doing. So that happened last year too. If you look back in the month of May, it was a negative 32%.
Right.
And then you can see by the following month, she was able to fix it. So she researches these things and finds out what the algorithm is and what we need to change in our ad set, and so she'll make some adjustments on that. Sometimes it can take a couple of months to get that dialed in, but it's happened to us before, and we'll be able to get that fixed again.
All right. 'Cause, 'cause, you know, we got, 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 we
More questions? Been any action on this forward?
And then for the director's report, you guys will turn on the back of your agenda. Again, I'm not gonna go over all of it, and I think as Dan, when I record the minutes, when I scan them into the computer, I'll probably be just putting the director's report in there too as part of the minutes of the meeting as well as the financial report. As far as times out of the office, this is a spring break month, and I've got a feeling that those of us that have children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, things of that nature, it could be that the next meeting, which is scheduled on April 14th, we might need to change the date, either the earlier week, the first Thursday, or the third Thursday, because spring break will fall on April 14th. And I'm actually going to be in Arizona myself, taking advantage of a family vacation during that time. So we'll talk about that at the end and let you guys think about that if you want to change it. And then March 15th, I'm taking a day of vacation. I've got some lengthy doctor's appointments in the morning. On March 16th at 10 a.m., the group that I'm in with Bob and a handful of other folks around town, we're going to be meeting at Stokola Valley Center to go over the Commerce Loops Map project. And then on April 4th, the Blue Ridge National Heritage Area is having hospitality training that is being taught by Biltmore Estates. And there should be invitations coming out to different businesses, trying to get you guys to send your middle management, maybe some of your frontline people. This training is a $395 training that, because of the grant that Blue Ridge National Heritage Area was granted, it's only going to cost $35 per person. So I think even if Graham County could get a half dozen to a dozen people over there, we'll have some trainers to even be in the area that can go around when we see maybe a Yelp or a TripAdvisor ratings going down on a business. Maybe we can offer some help with some training, because it is supposed to be training that rivals Disney, which is some of the best training in the United States. And then also there is some trail work. If you guys are familiar with the historicness of the CCC camp on Massey Branch Road across from the Chiola Ranger Station, the partners of Joyce Kilmer are going to be going in there and sprucing up that place. We've had a lot of visitors coming in, and they remember this place when they were in their youth. My mom was even a worker there, and I've told her to kind of type up a few stories and things of that nature. And so we're trying to gather some of that stuff up. It's going to be a work day, and if you know anybody with loppers and shears and different things, we're going to get out there and clean up some of the trails and get that thing spruced up so it can be useful once again. For your upcoming events, the lodges right there have the different things that are going on with them. At Fontana Village Resort, they've got their bass fishing tournament this weekend. They've got their Easter weekend coming up, Hiker Haze, which is really popular with a lot of the Appalachian Trail type hikers coming through the area. Topeka Lodge opens today, and they no longer will have Slick Rock Grill or Jasper's. Slick Rock Grill is now going to be called the Topeka River Grill, and Jasper's will be closed down, and it'll be used as an events area and for their specialty dinners like Mother's Day, Easter, Thanksgiving, but it'll be mostly used for group and events. It's kind of like a conference area. Blue Waters hasn't reported anything to me, and then Snowbird Mountain Lodge, they have their fly fishing weekend that sells out like almost a half year to a year in advance this weekend. They also have hiking with some guides during the days of the 2nd and 8th in April. The Partners of Joyce Kilmer, this is another item that your guests can always get involved with, and your diners, Billy, can always get involved with. They do have hikes on the 17th and 21st of March. And as we update and add things, we always just go ahead and add it to the events calendar on the website at grahamcountytravel.com. The Chiola River releases are March 19th through the 21st and April 9th through the 10th. I received an email from a gentleman in Georgia this past month that he came up here to raft all weekend, and the second day of the river release, Brookfield didn't allow the water to come through. He said he'll never come back until that gets fixed. I forwarded that email to Mike Edwards. Mike was supposed to be going to a meeting with Brookfield either this past Friday or the Friday before. So I haven't been able to catch up with him with everything going on with the urgent care.
Why did they change their mind?
They've done it before, from what I'm understanding. You know, they'll say 2 days or 3 days, and they'll only run it 1 or 2 days. And then people, if they've got he had a hotel night reserved. He canceled it. He went home. And I have to get back to him and let him know what happened, because that's our FERC agreement. And I mean, that's the understanding between the county
I've
and
not heard
Brookfield.
that before, I didn't know that was happening.
Yeah, it was the first time I'd really heard it too, and I was really shocked when I got the email. But, so that's something that, you know, as a destination, when we promise that, we've got to deliver, and I'm gonna have to follow up and with Mike, and we're gonna have to find out some way of making sure that that is happening when they say it's gonna happen.
He met with them Friday, and,
It wasn't this past Friday.
yeah, and you could, I mean, he said the meeting went good, but they wouldn't give them no more spaces, more times.
But, so they didn't do it on the day they were supposed to do it though, right? They were supposed, they
That's the first
agreed
time I
to
heard
do
about
it?
it. I don't know why they wouldn't, they've been a spilling
Yeah,
for weeks. That's what I can't, understand about it, in this kind of weather that we had there for a couple of weeks.
yeah, there's plenty of room.
Well, they're spilling right now. I was down there the day before
On that
yesterday.
left-hand slough, yep.
And if they should let people, well, it's a Forest Service, not them. They should let people in there then, but if the Forest Service gets you in there, they'll give you a ticket. I mean, whenever they've got the opening,
Yeah.
and it's really not any more, maybe a little more than what they would release for rafting. And he may have misunderstood, because the second day they don't release as much as they do the first day.
Yeah.
Yeah, a slower flow rate.
Yeah. So, but Brookfield's having a hard time, the lady that's over it, they can't fill Chill High back up and may not never be able to. And they're out that much because I forgot how many millions it's gonna take to fix it.
Oh,
But I retired 20-some years ago down there, and it was leaking in.
Really?
They just left it alone, there wouldn't have been nothing, I mean, they ain't going nowhere, it's just run through the rocks. One side's, the road side is earth, and the other side's earth, and they fixed the other side, it was easy fixed. But the road side is too far under, and they can't drain the water down enough to get to it. So she's usually a real nice person, but her Mike she didn't really talk good to him when he talked to her on the phone one day, and I told him, I said, hey, she's got more on her plate than she can handle right now. When you lose,
yeah, millions
a
and millions of
powerhouse
dollars.
that puts out the kilowatts that one does,
Yeah.
because it'll put out more than any of these
Well, I hope
others.
it can get fixed because,
Well, they need to just do it back up and go on about their business.
yeah, man, there's something, that's so pretty of a drive through there when it's full. And right now, yeah,
Yeah, but now I remember before his built, it being like his cornfields. And the river is probably a little different than it was when I was a boy, but they're having a rough time with that, so.
It's pretty easy to see where the good fishing would be though right now too, if you scope it out.
Yeah, you get caught in the riverbed, they'll run you off and take you to jail.
yeah, I was, yeah, we had some people that's coming, they said they'd like to go, what they were doing is like looking for stuff that
Yeah,
people were off
definitely.
guard, just sort of exploring, and they said that they were threatened with tickets, you know, so they didn't ticket them, but told them they would.
Why are you not allowed in there?
Indian
Archaeology.
Oh,
relics.
you're kidding?
Yeah.
All that whole valley, all the way down.
Same or
They
something.
would tell Cohen,
ATVs.
and all of it's Indian.
Yeah. I'll be following up
Jewel
tonight,
follow.
since it just happened. Since it just happened this past Friday, that's probably another reason why he's not gotten back with me. We had a lot of things with urgent care, as all you guys are aware. You've seen the posts in the paper, I'm sure, as well. Good news, I did get all of my STS marketing college projects in, and I am official TMP certified. So that means I am a travel marketing professional. Gotta like that. As far as local industry relationships, I wanted to let you know that we added a single cabin bed and breakfast. It's called the Owl's Perch. It's out over Squally Creek. Is it Squally Creek? Squally?
Yeah.
I know it's Squally, but it's gotta be something like River Creek or
So
something.
it's great.
It is great, okay.
Where is that?
Squally is more like out in the West Buffalo,
It flows in.
Snowbird, Dick Branch, kind of out in that area.
Okay.
It flows in the west side.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, I got you now. All right.
Yeah, on the west, center west,
Okay.
yeah. So that's pretty exciting. And then our fellas from Maine, Scott and Brian, I don't know if you guys have met them a few places around town. They are going to be adding a camping rental. It's got slide outs here and there, and he thinks he can charge $85 a night. And I said, well, we might have to do some experiments, but you just go right ahead. So we'll be trying to get that up for him during the next couple of weeks. He would like to market it as an ATV dirt biking.
Does that $85 a night include you getting to ride?
I'm not really sure, because he just came in and we got
Because
to
we
talk
paid
about
more-
it for 20 minutes
We
yesterday.
paid more than that at Windrock.
Okay, so you might be a good person for me to have Brian call and kind of talk over a few of these ideas, because he is right now also ready to, if you have people that really love dirt biking, they really like getting out on their ATVs, I think he's ready for people to call him and he'll take them on that 45-minute tour.
It's a guided tour?
Yeah, I think he's trying to figure out some price points or something to be able to guide people, and he might even have some vehicles that people can rent. So, again, we just talked about it yesterday, and we've got a lot of content creation and a lot of things to develop. But hopefully, by late spring, we will have something out to the hotels as another item of things to do.
Yeah,
while
that would
we're in
be
the
something good,
area.
because there are a lot of the riders that come in are dual sport bike riders.
It's pretty cool. We use TripInfo as our group travel advertiser. And Danielle down at Tacoma Lodge told me that they are in negotiations with TripInfo to be advertising with them as well. I also have Fontana Dam listed on there. That was part of my deal that I negotiated, that I got to list like 5 or 6 hotels, 5 or 6 attractions, and different things on their website for free. Since we're such a secret, nobody knows about us. So they did that for us. And so I'd say you're going to be called next. Yeah. You jump down to the bottom there, the SES story and lead generation campaign. We voted in July. On the record, I just wanted to mention that we had a special meeting called. Checked everybody's schedule in our last meeting. And I know Greg was even, I called him and he was willing to meet on conference call. But I think what, it hurt my feelings, I don't know if you really say that, but nobody ever called me to cancel the meeting. Nobody called me. So when I called you guys to ask if you were coming, somebody finally told me that it was canceled. And then I was expecting somebody to call me to reschedule because we had deadlines. So it was, this deadline right here has been extended for today's vote, just to see if you guys want to go forward with this line item that we had approved.
I believe the thing was, most of us felt like we had voted against it to begin with. And
Well,
so, and the
there were
minutes
two
minutes might have actually shown not what we voted on or voted against in this case. But the minutes might have been manipulated a little bit on that to show that we voted for something that we didn't vote for, but most of
Well, it's a good
us.
thing that we've got a video, because
Yeah.
I typed it right off the video.
Okay, well, I
And
think
there
a lot
were
of
two
people thought
people
we
that
didn't
said
vote
they
for
wanted
it.
to be able to research the item a little bit more, really 3, Connie, Harold, and John. They wanted to be able to research the item a little bit further and come back and vote on it. I mean, and again, this is something that I've sent out in many, many emails before. People need to read their emails so that when we do come to the meetings, you are ready to discuss and you're ready to go forward with an up, down vote. Because a lot of this research that I'm doing, it takes a lot of my time. You know, you have to, any deal that you've ever negotiated for advertising, you have to know how many hours that usually takes to get to signing the line. So
Are we ready to vote on this or not?
I'm asking you guys.
I think we are. I mean, I know what my opinion.
I'm ready, but I know my opinion is, so.
What about you guys, Harold, Billy, do y'all want to vote on this now?
Well, no, I don't.
We can postpone it too.
I think we do. We're coming right down here in line over here, then we're jumping lines over here. Just
Yeah.
come right down this line over here, like it won't get down here when we come down. Just don't skip lines. Just don't go for group tour where we're down to Spoken, then let's go to this commerce lips map. Let's go follow our agenda when we come down through here, then we'll talk about it.
Oh, well, I was
Come right on down.
once
And
upon a
then-
time to just
Well,
hit the highlights.
excuse me just a
on the-
minute. Let me talk to you. And it's, when you said that about that meeting, yes, I contacted you back. I've got that right here. I told you, me and my wife had to take my wife to the doctor's, the reason I couldn't come to that meeting. If you want to see it, I will show it to you. Because I contacted you back right after when you called. I've got
And
that
I was
right.
under the impression
I
that
understand
Connie
that.
was
Yep.
doing a census, because she called me, and I think she called Billy also.
I did not recall.
Okay, well,
I think I texted you back.
You did.
Yeah, I
You
did.
did. But I guess what I'm trying to find out from the board is who is in charge of getting in touch with me?
Connie.
Because
She's
I
in
have
charge.
to let the accommodation partners know. There were two fellows coming to that meeting, and thank goodness when Billy Ditmore, he told me he thought it was canceled, I was able to, finish up, and I think Harold ended up telling me he talked to Connie too, so hearing it from a couple of people, I just went ahead and let them know that we weren't having it, and I'd let them know when it got rescheduled. But it didn't. But, so that's my concern about the poll voting. You guys said you call a special meeting, we called a special meeting, we didn't have a special meeting.
Yeah, well, I believe a lot of that might have been because the special meeting was over something we were pretty about 90% sure we didn't want already and had voted against to begin with. It's like I say this thing about that visiting C365 conferences brought back up again. We done said no to that too.
It was
I
said
don't
the
know why
last
it's-
meeting in the minutes, if you go back here, and I can get it online too with the video, that you guys were gonna go research that, and that's why we called the special meeting, because you guys were gonna research and vote
That's
on
right.
it.
That's right.
I'm not manipulating anything.
No,
That's what I'm saying.
no, it's cheaper.
Might not be manipulating this one thing, but
It
there's
was
some stuff
cheaper,
in there.
yeah, I know that. Do we really need this tablet?
Billy,
Do we really need it?
When John came and met with me after this, and he said, Tabitha, you should have focused more on the relationships. He said, because now that you've explained it to just me, I don't have any distractions. He said, if this is a new group of people, and it is, they've been pulled out of the Department of Commerce. They have set up this public-private partnership. These are the people at the state level that you partner with to, they can be talking to anybody. And if they remember that there's something in Grand County that can help this writer out, because that helps them look good and helps that writer get a good story, if we keep things in the top of their head, that's free advertising. That's the best kind of advertising there is. And so when we're working with people at the state level,
Right.
and they're familiar with our product, because we all know that once Asheville stops, they don't think there's anything to the west out here. We talk about that all the time.
No, I understand.
So for me, for those people to come all the way to Cherokee, they make it a point of going to the coast, Piedmont, to the mountains. This year's the mountains. And for us to not even come, within
Okay.
coming this close, and it doesn't have to be me. I want one of you to go, or I want somebody to go, because you need to shake the hand of Mark Shore, the
is
public
somebody-
relations guy.
Is somebody from Stickola going, or somebody from Fontana going, or?
I haven't even had time to follow up with all that stuff. I'm in the weeds.
Why I support
We just
it.
need somebody to go.
Why I supported this to start with was the PR. I mean,
Exactly.
that, you can't count that in dollars and cents. If we just had somebody there to represent Graham County, no matter who it was, Jim, Tom, or anybody else, between here and there, if we'd had somebody to represent Graham County, I think that's what.
And this one will definitely be less expensive than the other ones because you're gonna be able to come back and forth during the day, right?
Right, and then, like I told you guys, I'm trying to do something with human resources because again, when they're pitching people to work at their establishments, we're not listed on there as a place to live and go to work at their 2 establishments. Fannin County, I mean, again, no. Graham County, not Fannin County. If you're gonna, be working at Murphy, we're just a hop, skip, and a jump. And if you like the
We
outdoors.
could do that with a phone
you're gonna
call
wanna be
though,
here.
at the
I've
center.
tried. I wanna be able to take some brochures and.
Yeah, I don't know what
meet
that had been if we
person.
called and said, can you put us on our website? And they said no or didn't do it. I don't know. I think if we're not listed on their website, I think that we could give them a call and say, can we be listed on your website as an alternate place to move or something like that. I don't know. No.
Visit NC has Fannin County, Georgia.
No, this is, I said I was gonna do an extra thing while I was at the conference, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Human Resources will be in that building. So I'll be able to go see them while I'm at the conference and be able to discuss the websites and on the Human Resources page where they're linking to the different communities. Please add us. But there's other meetings. ITI is a marketing advertising. They do web. They said, we'd like to touch base with you. All the advertising people want to see you while they're there. They want to try and pitch the products. You never know what's going to be there. It could be something good. It could be something bad. And so, again, being in person, seeing these people, talking with them, making a relationship, so you can say, hey, I'm Ford. We can't afford 6,000. Can you do it for 5? And you wheel and deal and make deals, and you get people to like you. It's all about that human connection and making these relationships with people. That's the reason why myself or one of you needs to go.
I think it's important before we make any deals, we all agree on them first.
Right.
But
I think we need to send somebody like you made the comment to start with. Jim, somebody like that comes, you with the honey, you with Fontana, somebody representing out of Graham County that they gonna represent, Tabitha, other than you gonna come up and say, well, I'm representing Graham County, where's, Jim Tom, Moonshine. That's the first thing you're gonna think of. Or you stating the part about the honey over there, we're trying to establish this over here. Fontana Village, or Topeka, or the water release and stuff like this. These are things over we need people like that to go over, or Sequoia Valley Center, somebody to go up there like that with them over to represent this,
What
get
you're
the photo.
talking about in the industry, what it's called is a fan tour. And
Right,
so Greg helped me out here so that we can get everybody up to speed real quick. When these people are here, I could have said, hey, when you get done with this conference, can you guys hang out for a day and a half? We'd like to take you around our county and introduce you to a few people.
Right.
We have to be able to put them up. We have to be able to feed them. You've got to get an itinerary together. One-woman show. So this is where I might be able to work with Chatterbox and some of my partners, people that they work with, and kind of get something like that together.
I understand.
That's how you do it.
You gotta whine and dine and you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours, that type of deal. But the thing about it is, when they come to Cherokee, let me explain something. They're not coming to Cherokee over just because they're over here on this end trying to take care of them. They coming to Cherokee because it's Cherokee and they in that casino in Harris. That's the reason they're coming here.
Yeah.
They wouldn't come west of Asheville over if it wasn't in Cherokee at the casino, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
No, I
I think
doubt
Fontana could probably bid it and they might win at some point.
Some point, but they come to Harris.
How many days would you be out of the office?
Monday and half a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Is it overnight? It's an overnight thing?
But it's a
It's a
Cherokee.
Cherokee, that's right.
And it's for
Sunday,
$529?
which is my day,
I mean,
Monday
sorry.
and half a Tuesday.
If you ask me, it's a no-brainer to me.
I think it's.
It's not gonna kill you.
No.
It's about getting your name out there.
I would rather see you go to that than that Biltmore State Hospitality thing.
yeah,
That's the one.
Right, that would be more geared
that's
towards.
still
Right.
something
Somebody
we
to do
need.
that.
You're gonna make
Yeah.
more contacts, you're gonna
Yeah,
secure
they're
more
two
network.
totally different
Seller
concepts.
stuff,
So one's
that's all.
training and one is advertising and marketing. So
Well, I'm just comparing apples to oranges. I'm
Yeah.
just saying I'd rather you go to that because I'm assuming that you're already telling us that you're going to be going to the Biltmore thing because you've already put that in the schedule. Is that not something that we should have discussed?
Yeah, and that's not how that works
That's kind of
either.
like what you guys told me. You said, let me know, to let you know about meetings before I go to them. So this is kind of how we decided to do it. If you guys want me to do something different, you have to give me instruction, otherwise I don't know how to do it.
No, we're saying you need to instead just take it upon yourself to go do all these things, you know, at taxpayers' expense while you're on the clock. If you want to go to something, bring it before us. We'll decide if we think it's worthwhile or not. It's not just saying, hey, I'm telling you I'm going to this, I'm going to that. You know, we got to try to be good wards of taxpayers' money and use it the highest and best possible way. You know, that don't include sending you to one school after another, you know,
I haven't gone
always.
to one school after another. I've just done
Yeah, you've done
STS
a
marketing,
few.
I did it on scholarship. The only thing we paid was mileage.
I just think our accommodation partners might benefit more from the hospitality thing.
True.
Than you going and then trying to come and teach all of them. So,
No. Like I said, we're trying to get a half dozen people to 10 people, 12 people to go.
yeah, get the word out to our accommodation partners.
Right, and they really they don't want high-end management, they want middle-level management because they think that is gonna, like the high-end management, we've already had this kind of training. So really the only reason why I'm going is I'm trying to get the materials so I can be a trainer. So when I see, for instance, Curly's just sold, new owners are coming in. Let's say they don't have a big extensive thing in restaurant. You know, I could go in there and I could share these materials with them as a trainer in the community. But again, if you guys don't think that's important, I don't have to go.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd be trying to people how to run a restaurant. I don't know.
$35. It's one of the best bargains to get that kind of training where I can help the community. Because, you know, that's what we're trying to do. We want our businesses to be successful. And if we see them struggling, we want to be able to give them the help. So that's why I brought it up. But
I would like to go to that. I think I would benefit from it.
if you want to go, I would love for you to go.
My thing is, I think we need to let you focus more on the things in the office and let the accommodation partners actually go and get this information firsthand.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I'm just going as a catch-all for when somebody needs a trainer, but I don't have to go. That's fine for you to go. And if you want to take on that role of trainer, that's awesome.
No, I'm not
Right.
gonna train, and I don't think you need to train.
It should be on your own business to train.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
It's on me to
Nobody
train
wants you
my
to
people.
teach them how to run curves.
Order, please, we're getting out of
If a
hand.
person cares enough about their business to learn something about it, they'll go. I just think your plate's full as it is. I don't think you need to take this just for the purpose of trying to train Curly's new owners how to handle the restaurant.
We'll call for a vote on the top one, a motion, one way or the other, and a vote.
Where we at?
You mean back up here to this? or
Right.
down here to this?
Up there first.
That's the issue.
I make a motion that Tabitha notify all of our accommodation partners of the upcoming hospitality event at Biltmore Estate. Let them know the cost, let them know the deadline, and
Yep, that's doing, I second, that's doing
Yeah.
our part.
Blue Ridge National Heritage Area is already taken care
And
of.
her not go, right?
yes, and I don't think Tabitha needs to go.
All right, everybody got the motion? All in favor? All opposed, has the same, okay, let's go to the bottom, let's get,
Well, wait, he wants to, so that trail work on April 6th. Does the board want me to go out there and to assist with the Partners of Joyce Kilmer? I have usually given about 3 days of my time to that group as a volunteer because trails are we have 350 miles of trail that the Partners of Joyce Kilmer keep maintained. And I've committed 3 days a year to them to help with work. So would somebody like to make a motion for me to go or not to go?
if you volunteer to do that, on your own time, I don't see no problem.
No,
And
it's a
again-
work day, it's during the work day.
Well, again, let's put this out to our accommodation partners because their visitors that come and stay at their places enjoy these trails too. The only thing is, the Friends of Joyce Kilmer are good to help us out at the Hill Farms.
But they make money. I set them up so they can
Yeah,
make money.
oh yeah, but they're still out there. But again, this, and I've harped this for 3 years, this would be a time where if we had a group of volunteers, that would be good for our volunteers to go out there and help. Because I'm friends with the George Kilmer Bunch, and I get their emails and I see all the whole big list of contacts that they send, and then I see 6 people show up to clear the trails. Of course, I can't because I work, but, again, that would be something that if Travel Tourism had a group of volunteers that helped us with programs, something like that would be where they'd come in handy.
Does anybody have any problem with their volunteering their own time to go out there and do as she said, notify everybody that might be interested in helping?
I want to make sure, because we've had a slight issue, I heard being confused on such things before. I heard said she's volunteering her own time type thing, but then we get a bill. I want to make this clear that this is going to be your volunteering your own time, right? Is that what you're saying? Are you on the clock?
It's a work day, so I was going to do that in place of my work day. But again,
So you're on the
this
clock?
board does not want me to go. Raymond's asking you to either make a motion to go or for me not to go. If you find value, you vote for me to go. If you don't find value, I don't go.
I just don't understand, I don't know the relationship that we have. Is it good PR that somebody from, this I don't know. It's hard for me to answer this one. I'm just too new. I'm not sure if it's good PR.
All the overlooks on the Cherry-Hill Skyway, all the overlooks leading up to your place, all the garbage pickups at the lake, the cleanups that they do. Every time there's a storm and a blowdown, they go out and they chop the logs and they cut the briars. The Santilla Lake Trail last year was known to have bloodied some people. We're trying to come up with better ways to keep that trail maintained so that we don't hurt our guests and they have a bad experience. So 350 miles is a lot, and especially some of these, the Hangover, the Hayo lead trails, really far out there, Big Snowbird, 12 miles out there and back. So this is an easier trail, and that's the reason why I can help on this one, is because it's a distance that I can help and handle. Not going with the big dogs. It's more of a roadside trail that most beginners and families would use.
So how long are you going for this?
We usually go like a 9 to 1.
So it's a one-day event?
But it's just a
Couple
work,
hours?
it's a work day.
Yeah, it's one work day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it one day? I thought you said 3 days.
No, it's just that day.
On the
The
6th?
6th, from like 9 to 1.
Have your motion.
Doesn't bother me if you
It
go.
don't bother me.
Okay.
I'm with it.
Why don't
Ellie
you?
has made a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye, okay. Phew, it's a lot of work.
There's the last one.
We're back down there, ads and bills to be approved, Raymond. On that back side there. We just need to go through those as an update.
We should just vote on this.
So the STS storytelling and lead generation campaign, it was voted back at budget time. We said in July we were going to hold off and wait till spring. Spring's here, it's $5,000. Do I have a motion to go forward with the storytelling advertising campaign?
I get something young people that take over from them.
No motion.
I just think that's too much money.
I went on the website, it wasn't very user-friendly. It had those slides to it, and I was punching up stuff in the mountains to see if it would draw me here, and it wasn't even taking us here.
Yeah, there's nobody that did that campaign.
Yeah. I
That's
just
the reason
don't-
why it would give us kind of an edge, because nobody here in our area has done it.
I don't know who sees it. I mean, I had problems with this one for 5,000.
All
That's
right,
cool.
to not have this brought up the next time, we need a motion not to do it.
I make a motion
Vote to
that,
kill, yeah.
yeah, I make a motion that we do not pay for the STS storytelling lead generation campaign.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Motion
conference, we can probably get in, it's I might be able to call and ask them if I can have the lower rate instead of the 529. Is there a motion for me to go to the Sunday, Monday, Happy Tuesday tourism conference in Cherokee to visit with the Visit NC staff folks, get the education, learn about the promotions, and engage with the relationships? Do I hear a motion?
And you're gonna drive back and forth, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm okay with $529, so I make a motion that we let Tabitha go to that,
Yep, I second that.
$529.
All in
Wait,
Oh,
favor?
the lower one was what, 3 what?
$499.
499?
30
At the
bucks.
time
So
policy.
she's gonna try to see if she can get in for 499.
Yeah.
30 bucks,
Okay.
yep.
Yeah, 30 bucks. If she
But if
can't, I'm
you
fine with
can't,
529.
yeah, it's 30
Okay,
bucks.
Okay,
So, yeah,
Yeah,
if you can't,
okay.
that's
Just
fine.
make sure.
Rhonda's made the motion.
okay.
Yep, I,
Greg's made the second.
You wanna call first to see if you can get in for 499?
Yeah.
Okay.
And again,
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah,
If
we'll do
I
that.
remember
Yeah.
correctly, that was really the only problem with the other times, was that you're having to go so far, like I think last year, wasn't that the one that was at Pinehurst?
Pinehurst.
Yeah, I mean, these things can be ridiculously expensive, but with them being local or closer this time, I think it'd be
All in
good.
favor?
what's the dates on that?
Sunday,
Motion
this Sunday, Monday, and Happy Tuesday. Next thing on there, this is just, I sent you a points map presentation, and Bob, did you actually watch the whole thing yet?
Not yet.
You watched part of it?
It was an hour and a half.
Yeah, I've warned everybody it's an hour and a half, but it's because it's been taped, and it's an online, so you get to see him giving the demonstration, the functionality of this would be the online map that also has an app that you can download the things and take it out with you when you go out into the forest. And it's gonna probably work with the Commerce Loops project. We're trying to fit those in together. So just wanted you to see that presentation.
I don't have a problem with that.
If you'll look in the very back of your, if you'll look at this page right here, Graham County newspaper puts out on an annual basis the I Love Graham County magazine. It has a shelf life of a full year, and if you'll flip over on the back, this was the ad that we put in there last year. Sloan sent me a price, I think on my text, but she never did really send me the rate sheet. So, and I just looked, I want to look one more time to see if she did send me the price.
What's the deadline on that?
It's gonna be in April, but it could be like, if we use the week above spring break, we'll be fine, but if we use the third week, then we would probably not fit her deadline.
The picture would be changed.
Oh, definitely.
Oh.
Yeah. Mary Ann worked up the ad on the back, and the Graham County, the Graham Star chooses the photo for the front of the magazine. So we're gonna be looking to do that ad. If I had to remember, I think it's around $500 for just, we're not in the front, we're not in the back, we're kind of in the middle, so it's not like a feature placement. $499, $500, $625, somewhere in there. It's a little fuzzy, but it's not very expensive, so.
I make a move that we table the Graham County magazine until the April meeting when you have the rates for us.
Okay.
Second that.
All in favor? Unanimous?
Now, what did we decide about this points map co-op video thing?
You watch it, and we're gonna discuss it in the next upcoming meetings. So you
Where do we
can
watch
get
this
familiar
at?
with it.
Where do we watch it at?
There's a link, I emailed it to you earlier today, so you'll have plenty
So
of time to
why-
watch it before
So
the
we'll
next
just
meeting.
table that one too then. Okay.
Yeah, well, it's not, that's not even a vote, it was for me to kind of just let you know what's going on with
Okay.
that one.
Boy
The
Scouts.
next one, the Boy Scouts have the fishing tournament out at Fontana Village this weekend. Fontana Tourism or Fontana the town donated $300.
TDA.
TDA did, okay, and so I was hoping that we could match their $300 donation I have a credit card, I can hit the donation button on their website and go ahead and get the donation done that way. If this board entertains fly fishermen come from outside the county, and it also helps the Boy Scout troop here that actually meets out at the Snowbird Youth Center.
I'm fine with that. I believe that could be it's growing, that Boy Scout thing. It's getting bigger. I talked to Eddie Hallfield about that one time, and it's actually drawing more and more people in, so.
Yeah. I make a move that we give the Boy Scouts $300.
Your second,
Okay. Third.
all in favor?
Is that everybody?
Yes.
And then this past week, a surprise special came through, and I emailed this to everybody, but just for your recollection, if you'll turn to the back of your packet, you will see the email that I sent you. It's kind of got some yellow markings on it like this. And it actually has, this Go Escape. This is a magazine that USA Today puts out, and it has a shelf life of 3 months. It's a paid-for magazine as well, so it's not just a freebie. So they definitely know they put out a $500,000 500,000 copies per year printed, and then the online version of the magazine stays online forever. So it's a nice link we can have to use in our social media presence. You get this free ad generation and the content, and you can link it right into your website and into your social media. It is a fourth of a page, 3-month run on the shelves. It is $4,500, and they even said they could put half of it on this year, half of it next year. I told them that we had some contingency. I didn't think we would have to do that. But again, that is up to this board if you guys would like to go forward with this Go Escape ad.
When's the deadline on that?
Says right there, April 15th for the artwork, launch is on June 14th, 3-month, sells 500,000 copies.
You know what John Powell would say if he was here?
John Powell already asked questions.
Print
I
media
answered
is
them.
dead.
Yep.
Well, that's not what he said in here.
Well, that's what he said 100 times before.
But remember,
Okay.
you're,
Print's
it's
dead.
a partnership.
People don't buy
Uh-huh.
newspapers and magazines and stuff like this.
The only love we've ever had with any kind of magazine thing was when somebody's come in to do an article, like the articles is done on Snowbird Mountain Lodge and stuff. They had great success, but stuff we've bought in magazines.
ads.
Yeah, and it's a fourth of a page. We've just never had any luck with them so far.
We had decided as a board that we weren't going to do print unless it had a digital component. This meets that guideline, and that's the only reason why I sent it to you. because
Now
it
all
meets
print
the
has
guideline that you
digital,
sent to
so
me.
any magazines on the internet too, on that, as far as that goes, but
Their motion, whether we do this or whether we don't.
And I move no.
Have a second?
second.
Any discussion? All in favor? There used to be some good ones years ago. I never heard that. And I forgot what it was. We used it to lodge all the time at the poker, but it's not that. So,
Well, everybody just goes online.
well, that's
We
what's,
bought
that's
billboard up by
what,
that casino for that much money.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Which we've talked about doing.
Everything else?
Well, the director's report's done, and this board, about 6 months ago, we had talked about possibly working with a tax management service, but we decided we could do in-house. Becky and I did. So if you'll turn back after the social media report, this is an example that Haywood County occupancy tax laws have no teeth in them for enforcement of tax collection. As an individual, you can put a lien against somebody's house, but as a business, the laws that we have set up in our county don't have the teeth that we need, so says Tawana Redwood. So I asked Haywood County what they did, and they said they passed a resolution where it gave the tax collector the same things that she could do on business property for the county. She could do it for occupancy tax. So this is an example of that resolution, that if this board wanted the new attorney, I'm not even sure who that is yet, Raymond, or if you guys have hired somebody yet, to
Jay
look at
Coward.
this. Pardon?
Jay Coward
Jay
Jr.
Coward,
from
okay.
Sylvia.
If you wanted him to take a look at this and to see if this would be something that Tawana could use to aid us in our occupancy tax collection, for instance, kickstand. They've been around for a long time. I know lots of motorcyclists that use them. I meet them all the time out and about. But on their little cabins and when they rent tents, they have never paid occupancy tax. They've been sent letters and sent letters and sent letters.
Can we do it for the tents?
Pardon?
We can do it for cabins, but we can't do it
Anything
for
with
tents,
the,
can we?
anything with the roof and walls, you can do it. We did
I don't
a thing in
know
April 2014, webinar with the state, and they said anything with roof and walls that you rent, you can collect occupancy tax. Even an RV, if you rent the thing that you back it up and it covers it, whatever that rental is, you can collect occupancy tax on that shelter if you back your RV up underneath it.
Well, I understand.
We're going to we'll have to redefine that, because if they own that tent, that's theirs.
No.
And
If
the
you
property-
rent the tent.
Okay,
If you go to
okay, yeah,
Iron Horse and
okay.
you rent it from
All
Iron
right,
Horse.
okay. Let's
Okay.
clarify that.
Yeah, I think you need to run this by a lawyer to make sure that's legal.
Right.
Yeah, we do.
Get one on
That's-
that.
So you guys need to make
I make
a,
a motion that we run this,
Put this off to.
resolution by the lawyer, and hopefully we'll have an answer at our next meeting.
If we get it back, we let her handle it. And
That'd
she
be
found
fine.
out him at the top of the lawyer. We had to get a new lawyer and he is expensive, so
Right.
we can just run to him every few minutes and ask him what, something that Becky can handle. Most of the time, if Becky can't handle it, it's pretty bad, so.
what's the motion again?
I make a motion that we send this resolution to Becky for evaluation, and based on her opinion, move forward from there.
If she thinks the lawyer needs to talk.
And we'll discuss that at the next
Okay,
meeting.
So that's the motion.
What's my birthday?
All in
Do
favor?
we have a second?
Or need a second?
Second.
All in favor? Unanimous?
And last but not least, talking about the change of the meeting date, or you guys keep the same?
I was gonna throw out that it would be better for me personally, I don't know what everybody's schedule's looking like, what's everybody's stuff look like, I'd be better earlier than later.
And that'll work with the Graham County Magazine ad also.
That would, so we're looking at April 7th
I can do the same.
versus the 14th. Does anybody know of that being a conflict for them? And I bet John will be here by then too. He won't get to go often, or he'll be in. So we need to make a motion to change the meeting.
I make a motion that we change the April meeting to April 7th.
That's the only one? Just the eight?
Second.
Oh, yeah.
Second.
Second. All in favor? Unanimous?
Billy, how are we coming along? I'm sorry, I'm jumping the gun here.
Go ahead.
Business, how are we coming? You said that y'all had contacted Alan Carver about surveying the property?
No, probably I hadn't talked with Mac lately. Have you, what was going on? Mac's supposed to get back with us, I'd say he'd probably have to get back with Raymond or call you or something about what's going on right now with that property owner. We need to know, he said the scope of it, once you get surveys and stuff like that, on where, who all was in ours with that property owner, then we'll know where we at.
But a surveyor has been contacted?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
already, he's supposed to be there to take care of it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, that's where we're at.
It's,
That's down across
Well,
from.
that's Godfrey's Way.
Yeah.
We as a board have voted to buy the Norfolk property,
Right.
and the county's gonna give us, they've given us the adjoining. Avis Phillips has a friend, you know how Avis has called her contacts, that can probably get us a rail car. What we're hoping to do is reestablish the rail bed, set up a rail car.
Someone told me the other day that the train that come through Robbinsville, there's an exact replica rail car, train that's for sale.
Oh,
Yeah. I'll find out the details, but they told me to tell you when we're on the cell phone. They said, it's one looking for a rail car, like travel tourism is, yeah, like one that's been checking about it, and like I believe it was her idea for the rail car. I haven't
it was
spoken
John
about it.
Powell's.
John Powell's, okay.
Well, I get the credit.
Anyway,
Yeah.
they said, well, tell her that there's an exact replica of the train that came through Graham County years ago. Someone in Franklin, one of those rail cars, whatever, he named it somehow. T.J. Holland.
Oh, okay.
And anyway, he said there's an exact replica of that rail car somewhere in Franklin for sale.
Okay, I'll check into it.
And he thought it was a relatively good deal somehow, so. So we don't mind.
Okay, I'll check into that.
You have anything else?
That's it.
I would like to say that this is my first meeting, as you all know, and I am not the interim chairman, I am the chairman. And on these minutes, you'll have to have Connie sign them. I keep signing, I wasn't involved in this, what we,
Well, we're gonna hold off on those minutes anyway.
but I still keep signing.
Yeah.
I wasn't here.
Yeah.
Just keep signing them,
What Connie and I agreed to, if she wants to come back when she's able, then I will resign and she will come back and take my place. But I am not the interim.
Yeah.
I am the chairman. And I want this board to do as good as it did one time when me and Harold was on it. We sat right here in the same place, we started this board.
What year was that?
I can't remember.
Been a long time.
We was a lot younger.
In the nineties,
35.
mid-nineties, was that when it was?
1924.
24, I would say.
1924.
Yeah,
Since Raymond said this is his first meeting, this is my last, I've decided I'm out. My term's up, but I appreciate it. Enjoyed working with each and every one of you.
Thank you.
And I'll still be around.
but we appreciate Harold, he's been on and off the board for many years. And as I said, he and I and Dirk Cody and Robert Rankin,
Everybody, seems everybody been on it one time or another.
we was here, and we was on it for several years, and we wanted to be a productive board, but we don't want to waste. My personal self, I'd rather see the money spent in Graham County. We used to fund the fireworks, and now they have to buy it to get enough to get the fireworks. But our people deserves what, and it's perfectly legal to fund the fireworks, because there's tourists here at that time, and they come and watch it. That promotes tourism. That's what this is all about. And, but we need to stay on top of everything, and we need to talk problems out, and I think we'll do good. Appreciate everybody that's got a business. These Von Tannen, Michael Taylor, Billy, even though he don't do nothing about it. His wife does.
He counts the money.
Yeah.
He stands outside and smokes a lot, I see. We,
No, we said so.
we have 3 houses to build this year, which is the first, we haven't built a house since 2010. And all 3 homeowners, one lady, this will be her 3rd house that she has here as a rental property. She does that well for a rental property. And the other 2 are gonna be vacation homes, because those people came to this area and vacationed here and liked it that well and wanna come back.
But we, at the time of Santana, it's unreal with the rental houses that's down there. Used to, 10 years ago or 15, I'd make around, you wouldn't see a sign up, but now then, it's unreal with the houses that's ringing down there.
For big dollars too. It's some of our higher income dollars, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
cabins alone.
Oh, they still three down there, $1 million houses up there.
Yep.
Well, she's talking about just the rental income that they generate, it's
Yeah.
big money too.
Oh, yeah.
We gonna have to, between now and then, I guess the next meeting, we'll have to discuss, when budgets come up. And we'll have to start getting into the budget process. That shouldn't take long.
No. And I would like to add something to, the paper, if you've all seen the headlines of the Grand Star, is not correct.
No, I said that the people were staying at the hotel and they said, that's not exactly what they said there. They said it wasn't correct too, so it's not just Raymond
See,
said.
he left before she got through. She didn't want to put it to the people that would have one tomorrow.
Yeah.
We met with her last night.
Okay, I'm in the dark, what's in the?
Yeah,
headline?
Here.
Here.
Read this real quick.
No, that's fine. No, I have to do my glasses back out.
That's just, it's from the lady Nancy that ran that,
And she met with us and her other two men last night. And we have two of the best prospects that you just wouldn't believe. So,
But she said this morning, when they were leaving, said they're really on track right now, so.
they worked all day yesterday with Cherokee. That's one option. And then Smoky Mountain, Urgent Cure in Rising City and Andrews. And
she's pretty upset.
it sounded all different than it did the other night.
We need it.
Yeah.
Well, people don't realize how many people goes out of town.
Yeah.
And we're not trying to hurt Toledo Valley Clean.
No.
It won't, it won't hurt. They're plenty busy, and,
These people in Graham County
Then we'll go there.
that would lay at the house at night before they go up there.
Well, I have a personal testimony. I fell through the floor the Monday before Christmas and tore my rotator cuff. And I walked into the clinic up there and they said, we don't have any appointments available. We can let a nurse take a look at you if you want to wait. And I left and went to urgent care in Andrews
Yeah.
because I was hurting.
And
I'm still hurting.
they say that this is probably the best one of the three.
I tell you, I've been to, personally, the one in Bryson a couple of times, and took my wife. And, I wish we had it over here.
Yeah.
And it was full of Robbinsville people probably, wasn't it? I've been there
I've been to all
twice,
three of
taking
them.
people too.
Murphy, Andrews, and Robin.
Well, Mike
Yeah, there was
said,
another person from Robbinsville and Andrews when
Mike
I.
said last night that he stopped coming back from Raleigh or mid visiting his girls or something. And he was getting sick and he stopped at Bryson. There was 5 from Graham County in the urgent care. And you know, a lot of these people can't afford to go.
And I don't believe that building is 1,400 feet, is it? I thought it was an old house.
No, that one at Bryson?
Yeah, it's talking about we had to have 1,400 foot.
Yeah, I doubt it is, because they're just
No,
using the
it's
top level of it.
That's all they use.
That's no wire, it might be 12,
Yeah.
11, 12.
So
One in Andrews is what, 11 or
Just
12?
top level.
Where's the animal there?
Andrews?
At Bryson.
Right down below Don's.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, that old house on the
Left,
where the
right down.
dentist office used to be.
What was it
Like
dentist
before
office
the
one
nation.
time?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not that awfully big.
Do
Okay.
we have any other business?
No, move to adjourn.
Yeah, to change, subject, just if Harold, if this is gonna be Harold's last meeting, then us board members need to start thinking about who we want and recommend somebody to the commissioners. Is that the way it works?
You can call Ken with those, email those, there's been at least a name put up already.
Okay, if you have anybody
Well-
that calls you, they need to get in touch with one of the board members, because the board members have to
Well, I announced it the last one, that John Powell last year nominated Robin Turner, and Robin Turner last year said no. He did not want to be on the board because he needed a year to get under his
John's
belt.
nominated Barry Levy now, and that's my suggestion too, is Barry Levy. You know, Barry's got the experience, he's one of the top people in the nation. He's done this before, and he's not new at this. He's done this for years and years, so he knows more about it than most, so.
I think
That's
Robin was
my,
gonna put A&E Cable up, and there was talk that some of the accommodation partners would like that, because he's local, but yet he's gonna be working for one of the top producing accommodation partners, so. you know, the county-
I'll go with I would second.
He is, but
Billy?
he knows that this board has a problem with local people, so he said it needed to be A&E, he would be fine with that.
we don't have a problem with that. So he might, but anyway, I suggest Barry,
I'll second that.
Who's Barry?
Barry Levy.
Those two will be in the fire.
They're named one of the top 15 in the nation. You know, they're good. He's been here for the past 15, 20 years or so across the street.
Well, let's see, don't we have another vacancy too?
John Powell, but he said he was willing to serve again, and the
Yeah,
boards
we want
usually,
John.
if somebody wants to stay in their position, that they can stay.
So we've got 2 for Barry. I hear any more for Barry?
I don't know, I'm sorry, I don't know.
Don't know Barry.
Did Robin, is he in the game or is he not in the game?
Is Barry, does
He
he work
said,
for
if anybody from down there to Toccoa.
No,
would be
he-
interested.
the two?
Not him, no.
No, he would,
Oh,
him or Andy, either one.
Will they not be closed, when they're closed, you know, during a certain period of time and stuff like that?
John's closed, so, you know, you still come to these.
Yeah. Well, I kinda figured that's gonna happen.
What's that?
I knew that's gonna happen.
Okay.
Myself, I'll probably recommend to the commissioners.
Yeah.
Bob. Martin.
Would you be interested? Would you? On our board here, yes.
I think I'm a little, it's a little early for me to do something like that. Need to ease into this, I'm overwhelmed with,
Thank you for that, sir. Hey,
I'm overwhelmed with, what goes on.
I would really like to have, personally, I'd like to have somebody pays into this. You know, this is all taxpayer, you know, all occupancy tax. I'd like to have somebody that's actually in the business that's paying occupancy tax right now, you know, because they're the best stewards of your money. They really are, because, you know, they're the one paying the occupancy tax. But we can discuss this at a later time, though, since we're adjourned anyway. if you want to, or whatever.
But we adjourned
No.
it, but it's up to you, I mean, what?
because I'd vote for Robin Turner, me personally.
But it hurts, just like, I believe you mentioned that Robin probably wouldn't take it, that he would
That
put
was
somebody
last
else.
year. This year, he said he wants.
Yeah, I would.
But did you say he would put Andy on? He wouldn't actually be
And he
on?
said whatever the board would desire, either him or
Because he
Andy.
thinks that we don't like out-of-towners.
Yeah.
Well, I'm out of town.
Who's told
I
them
know,
that?
that tells us a lot.
You know, I mean, somebody's had to go down and tell these people that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look what the newspaper guy, he said he was called a foreigner, so I mean, that happens to a lot of people. I mean,
Well, we can't worry about
Yeah,
that.
we don't worry about that, you know.
But you're asking how it happened, I mean, it happened
Have
to
you
a
read his
newspaper guy,
paper?
so.
Yeah.
That's like an article I was reading last night, and I know Jerry thought I'd lost my mind because I sat there and was laughing while I was crying. I would rather be referred to as a runner than a jogger, because it's the joggers that get attacked, it's the joggers that find the dead bodies. It's all in how you refer to yourself.
Yeah.
So if you
A
want to
runner.
fit in, you can.
Yeah.
If you want to consider yourself an outsider.
And Robbins, and he's worked a lot of people,
Yes, he knows the industry.
and he's,
I'm hoping he can bring some edutainment to Robbinsville for the kids and for our visitors, so I think that would be really cool.
Make a suggestion that has been talked about a little bit is Ryan Millsaps. I don't know if anybody here has contacts with him, nor do I certainly don't know him. He is a well-known name, and I think that somebody ought to approach him and see if he would allow, somebody said it was on, how about Montana?
Meadow Ranch.
Thank you. And the only person I know.
Ronnie Mills.
We might have a contact number for
What's he
him.
got?
He's just not.
He's a Ray Green, I believe.
Ray Green.
Do you know him? Probably do, everybody probably
Pretty sure it
does.
does, so we don't.
And he's evidently
We
had,
tried.
and he still has
He didn't come.
contact with Millsap. He had a sign here, or, you know, like home of Ronnie
I believe
Millsap.
we've tried something like that before, maybe.
We had that, Bob, and
He didn't have a good home life here, so when he left Robbinsville behind.
He changed the spelling of his name.
Is the country singer we're talking about?
Yes, he was born here.
I heard that, I also heard,
I had his old house placed up for sale.
See, the board sold his house, I mean,
the board sold him out. Is that-
No, sold his house. It was Howard's real estate agents in
I had
South.
his
we
house.
did that on Mill Branch.
Yes, I
But
remember.
Bob, we tried that, and we tried to get him to come here and do a concert for Grand County. And the two times that I knew that he come through town, he went to Fassett Jenkins's, old Ellen Fassett was alive, they probably kept him going. Dallas McRae bought him his first guitar, all that. And the people that work for Alcoa at the Poker, they pay his way to the blind school. And he don't even recognize us anymore. The last time I went to see him, his people wouldn't even let me see him. And the time before that, I couldn't get away from him.
He is changing his ways a little bit. The guy that's also one of the partners at Tacoma Lodge, Carl, the guy with the dark hair, he went to one of his concerts, I guess it was right before Christmas, and he mentioned Tacoma Lodge. So Carl said he was gonna reach out to Ronnie and invite him to the hotel to see if he'd come.
Carl told me the Christmas party.
Yeah.
Same thing there. He went to concert.
Ray Green went to visit him 4 or 5 years ago, I guess, before Murray Ellen died. They went to visit.
And Carl said he would host him if he would come to the Poker Lodge.
Ray would take his stepdaddy, or his granddaddy, Homer Frisbee, to the concerts. And then after Homer died, Ray would go and they wouldn't even let him go see him. So if I was that famous and I'd come from a place and I'd come from where he did and went to what he is, I would come and do a concert for the county.
He literally come from the bottom.
From the bottom, he come from up in the hall.
I don't know if you're gonna be honored someplace, even if you have that job, it just seems to me that you would probably take that in. He's gotta have an ego, says home of,
So you're saying if we extended the olive branch first, he might respond favorably?
I think it has to be the right person,
If you wrote a letter to him, it would never get any farther than his manager.
I'm sure you'd have to be a personal contact. That's why somebody like Willie Green might have that.
Ray Nagel.
No, he may not be.
Because the last time I talked to him, I told him about what happened, and he said they won't even let me in anymore.
But, you know, you have a lot of neat things here that I think ought to be promoted. And to me, I think that's what it should do for us, right?
I don't know what happened that sign, we had a sign that.
Did we?
There was one, wasn't there? Yeah.
Back years ago.
What I'd like to see, Bob, is something every month, once a month, have some kind of an activity. I would love for the travel and tourism to get behind the Ramp Festival.
Right.
Make that a whole weekend of
That
events.
could be something really good.
And make it all benefit the rescue squad.
You've got to have
Raymond, I've
different events, not something somebody can have anywhere. Ramp Festival's not example.
And ours is run the longest of any that I've ever seen, because they have a special on the Food Network on there.
Because that's the first thing I heard, there was some people come through the restaurant here,
last week or week before that. That's the first thing you want to know when them ramps started coming out. And when that festival was.
Last Sunday night.
That's what I told them.
We have enough time right now. If
Right.
we got our act together, we could put something together and make a big weekend out of it. And
Promote
make
that more, we do.
that our kickoff weekend for our tourist season.
So if you have a chili cook-off, everybody has a chili cook-off, and then where you go. You can't have a ramp festival just anywhere. It's like that Sorghum Festival thing does, that's what, Blairsville, wherever. They makes a killing. We can do the same, but it's gotta be different. It's
We
what
could
the
do
Possum
some kind of a
Park.
singing on Friday
Ever seen
night.
that
Well,
thing?
we could do some kind of a singing on Friday night to vote people in.
Right.
We could do like a 5K or a poker run or
Right.
something like that on Saturday. And then Sunday would be the ramp festival.
Right.
My suggestion would be, I mean, I think the ramps are neat, because not everybody likes ramps.
No, I don't.
And, you know, usually, like, some people are vegetarian, and usually they throw meat in there of some sort, and so that, but you're gonna have, I do think that you should have, there should be a festival event here in Grant County. You have an empty building, I guess it's still empty over at the old Stanley, and if you did that, along with all the other festivals, the Spacoa, the Campbell, I don't know, there's a bunch of them, I can't tell you off the top of my head, but you're perfectly positioned to do something like that. John Campbell canceled theirs last year because of rain. You wouldn't have to cancel whether it rained or not.
That we can easily shoot there, I feel like more. We need some events, we mainly need it in wintertime. Wintertime's our only problem here. Spring, summer, fall, we've done a good job here. We got a lot of people in, most people are pretty busy. We can always grow, but our real dead spot's winter. Do some events in the winter, like you said, indoors, that's,
I think
Big
people
road.
are pretty busy with school and they don't take vacations so much in the wintertime. I think it's great if you can do it.
but, you know, you can't just roll over Dyer or nothing like that. Hell, there's all kinds of wintertime events everywhere else in the world, you know, because kids are in school in spring and fall too. That's not stopping anybody, you know. But wintertime is where we need our help right now.
Oh, I agree, it'd be
Yeah.
great if you can do it.
Yep.
Just how many people want to travel in snow covered?
Go to Aspen. I don't know, you'll see firsthand. Go to Gatlinburg.
Yeah.
I mean, wintertime, they're still covered up.
And another thing I think would be neat, I think this barn quilt thing should be fostered a little bit more. And the places that don't have a barn quilt, I think should. And I was gonna talk to Ron Lane, I don't know if he has one.
We got a bunch of it there.
And Fontana, you should have a barn quilt there. And I think it needs to be advertised somehow, the coordinates that are on some of the things that I've looked at. I don't know how many people go to coordinates like that, I don't typically. But that, if it was made somehow easier on the map or something like that, maybe, and you can even have a challenge, how many of these barn quilts could you find? There's a lot of things you can do with that. Those, they're beautiful, and there are people that focus on that, I believe.
Do we have anything for closed session?
No, sir, we didn't know.
Have anything else? Harold, I appreciate you.
Very much. We're gonna miss you.
I'll be around.
I'm serious about this ramp festival thing.
Good. Let's get together on email or whatever and talk about that some and,
Look.
yeah, because I'm sat forever.
Raymond's right around, you pass out flyers.
Right, what,
I'd fill up the motels.
I think a poker run would be good, and I think what we can do is make our key locations like, let them start out with you or start out at Fontana or
I've
wherever.
run several of them.
And go,
You know,
yeah.
just, we do 5 points, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I've done all mine. It's just for other people's charities. They just want me to run.
That's what I'm saying, we do it for the
Yeah,
rescue
we want to do it for other, man. They're
That'd be
simple
great.
to
A
do.
poker run for the rescue squad, that'd be a good time.
Yeah. We'll do some, you wanna just do that on a Saturday, not worry about anything like a singing, maybe a singing Saturday night also, or just do the poker run on?
And I'll gather up ideas, figure out some stuff. You know, it's gotta be just something neat for people to do, but it's, you know, the poker run, we can make it 5 locations around the
Well,
county.
You can do that.
Make them go places, as we normally do 5 cards, but the key is to make your locations, like if you do 5 locations, make the people go, like if you want to see, you know, say,
Let them go to
Yeah, if they
Snowbird
wanna
Lodge.
see, yeah,
And then they
right.
go around the backside of the lake, and go down to Topeka, and then they come back
yeah,
up.
if you want to see them, if you want to make them
go to
see
Fontana.
Fontana Village, you would make like 1 stop here, 1 stop at Dill's Gap, 1 stop at the dam or something. You'd make them drive through it. So they would have to see, that way you can still have 5 locations, but you'd have a lot more, because you'll make them drive by it, make them drive through it.
The Ram Fest will be on the 24th.
Do what, Millie?
Because you set up a tent.
We're just talking about sales and what you can do with it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, we should
You gonna have
start
to set up
making
a
an email
tent,
chain and whip some stuff.
But we'll have to set up 5 tents, you know what I'm saying? You get
Have
up,
refreshments and stuff there.
yeah. Set up tents, so you have to have 1 gathering spot.
Right.
This
Maybe
is
let
the
that be
last weekend in
school.
April?
Yes, the 24th. Now, will the rescue squad be okay with us doing that? I mean, they're not gonna feel like hijacking.
Talk to them, I mean, you know.
That's the outliers.
See what's always happened before, other people's took advantage of it for themselves.
Yeah, that happens.
Steve Co-op, they had on Saturday,
Yeah.
one year, I guess they
Couple
probably.
of years, probably trying that this year too.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
well,
you know,
we're gonna be entirely different
Yeah,
because we're gonna
yeah, I
have
know
other
what you're
initiatives to
saying.
benefit the rescue squad.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be great. It's almost like the fireworks of 4th of July. It's a county constitution. It's been
Right.
here, or an institution. It's been here forever. It's 25 or 26 years, isn't it? Something like that. So, yeah.
But it would be neat to know for the longest run.
Granite Festival.
Yeah,
Who would we get in touch with? Who's in charge?
Keith or Jeff's such
Jeff
command.
Sims. Okay.
Let Raymond get in touch with him, he's involved with it anyway, you know, he's been our best contact. Let him see if everybody's okay with everything.
All right, so a poker run on Saturday. Do we want to try to do a singing Saturday night or Friday night, or just do the poker run?
Can we get up with Taco?
Who?
Is Taco now helping the city?
Brian,
Brian, yeah.
Lerman,
He's on the board.
Yeah, he's on that board over there and stuff like that. They could get something up in front of the courthouse or something like that. Or what do you want to have thing? That's where you usually have it.
When do they start their dancing in the courthouse square?
They haven't given me those dates yet, but it's usually either late May, early June.
So they wouldn't be doing that by that,
Not by then.
It'll
it
probably
would be hard to put something together though.
on Friday night.
The
Okay.
poker run this time, and then next year
Have more time.
Well, I can go both, because I went to organize the poker run and that singing thing about 3 hours.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be.
It wouldn't be that hard to do.
Yeah, all right, we'll get in touch with Jeff, make sure it's okay with him, and then I'll shoot out emails.
They get start somewhere, and we'll start it. Like that.
we've got a meeting Monday night, so I'll bring it up at the meeting.
When, Monday night?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bring it back to the board in April.
To come to the meeting also.
You can bring back board in April.
Come up with ideas in the meantime, bring it back to the paper.
Where at?
That's what it
Over here, right?
is.
All right.
Anything else? Have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Hello?
In a second.
I second.
Get that one down. That's
All second.
Yeah.
Hey, see you later. See my card. I can't see as much.
Oh,
Yeah. Like, you need something.